name is Caitlin. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I make videos kind of about whatever I want when I do post them. I have not a lot of videos posted, but a lot of videos filmed, and I'm working on getting those videos edited and posted. But this video is about this right here, which is my reading journal, because one of the things that I like to talk about is books. Real quick, let me tell you my kind of history with reading recently. I'm a big reader. I always have been. When I was a kid, I was an avid library goer, and then just as I got into adulthood, reading kind of slowed down for me. It wasn't something that I was prioritizing as much. So in 2022, I read the Harry Potter series. I've been a fan of Harry Potter since I was a kid. Those first two movies I've watched, not kidding, probably 100 times each, but I never could get into the books. I had tried multiple times, I just never liked them. And for the 20th anniversary of the first book, I believe in 2017, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a second chance. I read it in a day, and then I tried to get to the second one and just had burnt myself out. So then years passed, and in 2023, so in 2023, I decided, you know what, I want to try again. And I read all of them over the course of a couple months. Hogwarts Legacy, the video game, came out that year as well. So I was really, really into that universe. And it's funny because the day or two after I finished the last one, I went to read a book, which is now my favorite book series ever, Dark Rise, shameless plug, please read it. But I had been so into the world of Harry Potter that I just could not get into it. So I stopped reading for the rest of the year pretty much. I think I maybe read one book over the summer. And at the end of 2023, I picked Dark Rise back up again, and it just really kickstarted my whole reading journey, because in 2024 I read 41 books. So I'm back into reading with regularity. And last year I did use a reading journal. I'm going to show you that real quick. Also, I'm sorry, you can totally see the tripod in this. It is what it is. I'm not a professional, but this is the reading journal I used last year. This is the Waiting for the Night journal from Conquest Journals. I absolutely loved this at the time, but just in using it for a year, because I got this at the beginning of last year, it's just not perfect for what I want. Now, I love the look of it. It's this really beautiful kind of Edgar Allan Poe gothic looking journal, and I absolutely love the aesthetic of this journal so much. I have my little goals. Here's my reading tracker, because I read every single day. That was initially, I wanted to read, I think I said here, if not every day, at least every week. I read every single day. Here's my little bookshelf page. I love the look of this. I love the kind of gothy vibes. I am, not to be a pick-me, and like, I'm not like other girls, but I'm not a cat person. I'm not into coffee or really like plants or minimalism. And that's so many of the reading journals I find are that vibe, the coffee, plant mom, cats, and a book. Like, that's not me. And so I love the look of this, but it's just not perfect. As you can see right now, I'm flipping through these challenge pages, and I haven't used them just because I'm not a big reading challenges person. For me, my challenge was just to read, and I did that. I'm skipping the next page because it was supposed to be a banned books list, but I turned it into a fan fiction tracker. I didn't fully fill out all of these sections, but you know, here's all of my overall books I read. I find that it's odd because there's so many places for titles, but not enough places for the reviews, because this is their kind of example page, but this is what you get for each book. I think there's 42 in this book, which I like to write a review about every single book I read. I found that the majority of the reading journals I'm finding are for people that don't write a full review for every book. It's just for maybe their favorite ones or their ones that they really vehemently hated and need to talk about. But I like to write one for every single book that I read, and a lot of the ones I find are like just one page of writing, and I use the full spread for the majority of the ones that I did. So you'll see like Dark Rise, I used this whole side up. You know, there's some here that I used a lot of the section of. This one I used a lot of it up. Don't look too closely because there's probably spoilers in here. So like this one, right? I didn't fill out anything of these pages just because some of the prompts aren't perfect for what I like to talk about when I'm reading books. And a lot of times you'll see at least one section didn't get used. Some I like barely talked about it, even though this was a 4-star book. I really liked this one. It's just, it wasn't perfect for me, but I love the style of it. So I couldn't find one style-wise that was exactly what I wanted. You'll see actually a lot of these towards the end here, I like crossed out what the prompt was and just had my own stream of consciousness, because I found a lot of times this wasn't enough for me. So that was this journal. I did love it, but it just wasn't perfect for me. So in trying to find a reading journal setup I liked, I found on YouTube people making reading journal bullet journals. I've actually tried bullet journaling in the past and just found that it wasn't for me because I just got too overwhelmed because they were really like the just illustration ones, but I found the kind of junk journal scrapbooking style of bullet journaling specifically for reading journals, and I absolutely love that. I forgot to grab it, I was going to, but I have a junk journal I started last year that is just where I have like stickers and packaging and tickets and stuff like that, just as kind of a collage jumble of stuff from my life, and I really like that style of journaling. So when I saw that people were doing it for reading journals, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna make my own. So I'll try to put in the description some of the channels that I found that have been really big inspirations to me, that I love watching those videos now. And without further ado, let's just get into it. So the journal itself, this is actually from Michaels. I think it's an A5 size. I might be wrong, but it's just an A5 dot grid journal in this beautiful kind of burgundy, maroon, wine red, however you want to call it, cover. It's got the elastic closure, it's got 2 little ribbon bookmarks and a little pen loop. Initially, I was looking on like Amazon and Etsy at some of these really pretty journals that were like $20 to maybe $35, $40. And I was kind of close to buying one of those, but I thought, what I would rather do is just, for this first one, to make sure that I actually like this style of journaling, was to get a cheaper one. This was at Michael's for $10 and I had a 30% off coupon, so I spent $7 on it. So I told myself, let me use this cheaper one first. If I really fall in love with it, I will let myself get one of the nicer ones in the future. I might at some point do something with the cover. I have a bunch of stickers that I could use. I go back and forth on if I like that kind of sticker collage look. I was looking at trying to do the sort of like engraving and put some of the gold inside, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get on into it. This first inside cover is not my favorite, but it is what it is. I kind of just made it a little open, like welcome page. I used some of these really pretty see-through stickers that I couldn't really use inside because you needed something of a darker background to see them pop up. The materials that you're going to see me use throughout, the majority of these, like all of this paper and stickers, come from a set that I got on Amazon. It's like a little ephemera scrapbooking set that I bought. I think it had 4 different themes. I used the sort of celestial travel one for just all of my base pages, and then I've got one set that's perfect to use in the winter time. I've got another set that's perfect for the springtime, the fall time. I have to figure out for the summer, but I can just buy those further into the year. I bought a washi tape set, which is not the best washi tape. I have to glue it back down, but it's fine. It's got all of this kind of a similar theme of maps and postage and just vintagey looks. And then I saw someone else, I can't remember exactly who, was using she specifically was also using a Harry Potter book. I found this, I think it's Prisoner of Azkaban. I found a copy of it for $1 at Goodwill, so I did not feel too bad about sacrificing it for my journal. But yeah, just using it as kind of little scrapbooky stuff, and I really like Harry Potter, so it's fun that I also like the material. This little, leave that alone, okay? Like, I don't love this little holographic strip that I used. It doesn't fit with anything else, but it's on there, and I tried taking it off, and it's on there. Starting inside, this is just a little kind of nameplate page. I've had these stickers since I was a little kid. I had a few different of these. They're like little flip-through booklets that are full of just stickers with my name on it, and I had this really cute little bear set, so I just thought that this one was adorable in here. I used some of the washi tape, and then just did some little greenery illustrations. Now, these notebooks do actually have their own pre-done table of contents pages. We'll see if I end up filling those out or not, but they're nice to have. This is a page that I saw someone recommend having that personally I haven't used, but it's kind of a little guide page for just a grid spacing guide for, you know, here's the halfway point, here's if I wanted to do something that's quarters, thirds. I haven't used this yet, but I have it because these kind of 2 pages are a little awkward. But getting into the bulk of the design stuff. As I said before, where I got my stuff, it's mainly those Amazon sets. I got a set of individual letter stamps on Amazon. All of these kind of floral stamps you're going to see, for the most part, were actually at the dollar store. I found the exact same stamp designs at the dollar store that they had on Amazon for like 3 or 4 times the price. So I have a lot of these clear stamps I got from the dollar store. I'm still learning how to use it. As you see, it's not perfect, but it's a work in progress. I saw that this is what all of the bullet journal girls use, are these Tombow pens. So I got a kind of beige, a light pink, and a light blue color. So that's that beige one right there. For a lot of the lettering, I'm either using Pigma Microns. I got a set of these for Christmas. And then I also have these other 2 just similar fine liner pens. This Bic one actually is one I think I use the most, and I really like it. I also have this bin of stuff. These are my planner supplies. I keep them in this cute little container that I got from Marshalls. So I have the zebra mild liners in a bunch of colors. I have the little Sharpie pens. I've got, I don't know what brand these are, but it's just a big pack that I got on Amazon. I've got some glitter gel pens. I've got a bunch of the lay pens. I've got, these are Pilot colored mechanical pencils, and then just some other gel pens. So I use those as well in here. I kind of just use a mix of a whole lot of stuff. So this first spread is going to be my number of books read, kind of like my Goodreads spread, I think is what a lot of people use for this, but it's just a tracker of the amount of books that I read. And also I've got goals. I'm not a huge person to really follow and put a lot of stock into reading goals or challenges or stuff like that, but I have a section for if I find any that I kind of want to put in. My goal mainly is just to read. So I read 41 books last year, so I put 50 here. I think I put my Goodreads goal for this year as 45. My Goodreads goal for this past year was 40. I have now down here in the bottom, I have a box to put the actual number read if I go over it somehow. If I go past this, awesome. If I don't, awesome. I still read. I love this kind of look. You'll see I did it here. This is one of the, where are you? It's the gray. Is that what you're called? You're just gray, yeah. The gray mild liner. I did a little drop. That was loud. I did a little drop shadow, and you're going to see that through most of these pages because I just love the way it looked. But yeah, I really like this kind of scrapbooky, collage-y vibe. This next page is a daily reading log. As we saw in my journal from last year, I did read every single day, so this is sort of a redundant page, but I still like looking back on that filled out one. So we'll just mark how many days I've read. I think it's the 10th today. I don't have my watch on. It's the 10th though. So I should fill it out to here. I don't know how well it comes off cross on camera, but I did mess up and I had to use the whiteout. That's something in one of my approaches with this journal is if I mess up, I mess up, you know? It's not perfect, but it's mine. So yes, the pen is going to look weird. Whatever color I decide to use is going to look weird in that bin. It's fine. You can see right here that the whiteout that I used a different, like a liquid. This was the kind of like pen one. I used a liquid one and the marker doesn't want to go over it. It's fine. I mess up. I'm human. It's pretty self-explanatory though. We got some washi tape and some stamps over here. I don't love how this one turned out, just color-wise. It doesn't really go with the rest of these setup spreads, but I still think it's cute. It kind of looks like a little picnic blanket. I don't have a huge amount of anticipated releases for the year, but I do just have a few written down to remind myself to look back at that title when it does come out to see either if my library has it or if I am interested in actually purchasing it. We're so close. Less than 2 weeks from Onyx Storm. I'm very excited about that one. And then I'd say besides that, Dream by the Shadows is probably my most anticipated release this year. This is a book that was indie published already. I wanted it really bad, but my library didn't have it because it was just a, buy only smaller indie release. And it got traditionally published, but it doesn't come out till August. So I have to wait. And I like the indie cover better, but I'm very excited for that one. And I keep getting TikToks from the author and I want it so bad. So this next spread is my books owned TBR. I read 41 books last year, but I got 31 of those from the library. So I do want to have a focus on reading the books that I own that are in my bookshelf. This is a mix where I'd say about maybe 25% to 30-ish are books that I've owned for years already, and then the rest of them are ones that I purchased in the last year that I want to get to. I actually just realized now I got the rest of Throne of Glass for Christmas, so I do need to fill those out, but I have a lot of books that I own already. I do want to work on trying to read through the ones that I own already. I really like the way that this is one of my favorite spreads. Just I love this little collage look. Yes, did I make it so I can't fully fill this page out because I think I might have gotten enough books that it would go down past this? Yeah, I don't really care. Okay, next. This is my spread for books obtained in 2025. Bought, gifted, that's kind of it. So again, I really like this one. This is just a few of those washi tapes together, but I just think they look nice. I love the washi tape that has the kind of, I don't know what it's called. Is it gilding? Where it's got the metallic on it. I would love to get some that has silver. I was gonna get some more supplies, but I'm like, I can use up what I have first. I don't need 3 different boxes full of washi tape. But the points I was gonna fill out in here is the title of the book, when I got it, where I got it. So did I get this from the library book sale? Did I get this from Barnes & Noble or Target or Half Price Books? Was it a gift? Was it new or used? And then how much I paid for it. And then I also have a little key down here that I'll put a star along the side if I paid MSRP, because the majority of the books I buy are either used or I get them from Target where they're already 20% off. And then I'm not a big stats person, but I did put something to put the number of books I got in 2025, the location I got the most from, and then the amount of money that I spent, which is probably going to be not very fun to look at the end of the year. I love this spread. I think this one's so cute. I know I think this might be my favorite spread. I'm a big library person. I actually counted this earlier and this is exactly 31. So we'll see if I either surpass or don't hit the amount of library books that I got this past year, because now it is 2025. On this side, I can put the title and the author, the price of the book, and then at the bottom, I'll put the number of books I got total from the library this year, and then the amount of money saved to see just how much that library card's been saving me. Once I started working on this page, I wish going back that I had done a little, given myself a little more space to do fun, double spreads instead of having these two right next to each other. but I've got a whole lot of journal to play with still. But I think this one turned out so cute. So we have some of the papers and stickers from the ephemera set. I've got some washi tape. I've got one of those Harry Potter pages. And this, I just think it turned out so cute. This is a little index card that I used a ruler to draw the lines on. I used my letter stamp and I made it look like one of those little loaner cards that would be on the inside of old library books. I initially was trying to make the little folder for it to slip into, but it just was making it too bulky. So I put the author as myself. I put the title as The Definitive Guide to Reading. And then I thought that this personally was cute, that for the borrowers' names, I'm putting characters that are known to be like studyish or bookish. So far I have Hermione from Harry Potter, Violet from Fourth Wing, and Nesta from ACOTAR. I just think that this one turned out really cute. This one's a little different in terms of the design so far, but I have a series tracker and a manga tracker. I tend to really like reading book series. I am someone that I love lore, I love theorizing, and I love getting really in-depth with the story. So I love when I have more than just one book to spend with the characters, with the world, with the magic system. So I love reading series. So these are kind of my top priority series of ones that I own already or that I want to get into. And then I have a bunch of space. Like I have a series I bought at the very end of the year, because I think I finished this in November. So I have a series I bought at the very end of December that I've already started. I have one that I just picked up from the library yesterday. So I have more space for me to fill out with. But it's just going from, starting, this is going to be one, going up to the amount of number of books. So I have Throne of Glass, which I haven't started. We have Crescent City, The Empyrean, Onyx Storm, comes out so soon. So these gray ones are ones that I read already before 2025 started. You're going to notice that this one's already filled out. When I made this in November, I had only read The Cruel Prince, and I didn't really love The Cruel Prince, but I still wanted to read the rest of the series. And then I gave it a second chance in December and read all of The Cruel Prince as well as the Stolen Heir duology already. So yes, it's filled out already. I don't really care. What do we have? Caraval? I'm not sure how you say that. I have the first two books, and then I want to read Once Upon a Broken Heart. That's I think they're related series, right? Oh, this Blood That Binds Us. I have the first one. Dragon Age books, which did I add? I can't remember this might be like the newer one that came out that I don't have yet. And then the Twilight series. I've read the original 4 Twilight series, but there's Midnight Sun, Life and Death, and then that one, it's like the short second life of Bree Tanner. I think that might be the title, but I've had those except the little novella for years on my bookshelf, so I want to finish those. And then yeah, I have all this space. And then on this other side, so I do read manga, but it's not something that I've ever tracked before. You will see that yes, while this is a reading journal, there is some entertainment tracking. I want to be more mindful with my consumption of media this year because I spend so much time on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and it's just getting ridiculous. And I really want to tap back into, yes, I read a lot of books, but I want to read more manga. I want to watch more movies and TV shows and play more video games. So there is some tracking for that type of stuff later on. But I didn't really read much manga except for some one-shot series that I found and just kind of binged. I do have some manga series that I want to finish getting caught up with, or just finish, or I have all the space to read more. So my priorities this year are Blue Exorcist. This is my favorite series. Blue Exorcist and Black Butler are my two favorite series. I can't remember exactly how many boxes these are, but I am 2 or 3 volumes behind on Blue Exorcist, and I think I own 1 or 2 of those 2 or 3. So I'll get those and finish them. I've owned them for a while and just am bad at actually reading them. Same thing with Black Butler. I have 2 volumes that are sitting on my shelf that I haven't read, and there might be another volume or 2 out. This one I messed up on. You can see I already did mess up. There's some white out here, but I have only read I think I have 3 or 4 volumes left, but I filled out all of them. I made a mistake, and it's fine. But yeah, I have all of the space to add more. I don't see myself needing to go into these gaps to fill in more, but if I do, I do. It's Pochako, right? He's cute. I've had this sticker for years. I got this in a package I bought on Mercari, and I finally had a little place to put him. Okay, this is my only one that I did some funky little insert things with. I believe this is called a Dutch door in the bullet journal world, but this is my 2025 books read. This is way too many for the amount of books that I read last year, but I'd rather have too much space than too little. And also if I really wanted to, I could do 2 lines per title. Design wise, I just have some washi tape, some of those stamps. I did a little greenery illustration. I drew these little flowers, some stickers. I don't use a lot of criteria when I'm writing stuff down. Actually, in this journal, that was another thing that I didn't love, that it was title, 1-word summary and rating, and you can see that I crossed it out and wrote author because I hate the little summary thing. I don't need to see what the genre is. For me, it's probably going to be fantasy. So I just have this to put title, author, and then the number of the star ranking I gave it. I think this one turned out pretty cute. Oh, this one I think is really fun. So this is something that I won't fill out till the end of the year, but I have my 5-star favorites next to my DNF dungeon, and then just did some little kind of scrapbooky corners. This is again with that letter stamps from Amazon. This is a little Halloween stamp set that I got from Michael's, which you can see is transferring, but it's fine. I'm not sure yet how I want to do this, if I want to print out the titles of the cover. I think that like might be the most fun, but we'll figure it out at the end. I didn't DNF a huge amount, and I can normally tell pretty quickly if I'm not gonna like a book. The majority of the books, I think I maybe DNF'd 5 or 6 books total last year, and most of those were DNF'd within like 10 to 15 pages, like within a chapter or two, because I can tell pretty quick if it's just a writing style I don't vibe with. And because I want to read stuff that I like, I don't feel the need to spend time on a book that I know I'm probably not going to like. And I had quite a few books that I got too far into that I'm like, damn, I wish I could just stop reading this, but I'm this far in. I had one book that I got like 175 pages in, and I could not do it anymore. Very simple, but I like it. This one, okay, I'm gonna put in the description the channel, because I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now, where I got this idea from, but she is a fantasy cartographer, which means she makes fantasy maps. And I was watching it and I'm like, I think that's something art-wise I could do. I love arts and crafts and making stuff. I'm just not super confident in my art skills in terms of like putting it out there, but a lot of times will see kind of crafty DIY things and I'm like, that are being sold, and I'm like, I think I could do that myself. So I looked up a bunch of different reference images for maps from different books, and I made one myself. So this is the Kingdom of Esor. Esor is just Rose backwards. Rose is my middle name, and if you are a fellow Caitlin out there, you know that there are approximately 8,000 different ways to spell that name, and it just constantly is spelled wrong. So a lot of times at places like that I have to give my name for a food order or something, I'll actually just say Rose, because I know for the most part people are going to be able to know how to spell that one, because I've gotten some funky spellings of Caitlin over the years. So I tend to use Rose and kind of stuff like that, and I just thought this was fun. I'll go through my little places. I have my DNF Island, my Tragic Backstory Bay, the Only One Bed Inn, we have the Lake of Longing from the Rivalry River, Reluctant Hero Ruins, the Smut Serpent, Fated Mates Mountains, Slowburn Strait, the Standalone Tower, the Side Quest Sea with the ship The Quest, the Forced Together Forest, the Antihero Archipelago, Prophecy Palace, the Chosen One Canal, the Stolen Air Stream, the Fire Favorites, and the Origin Story Ocean. You know, we use fun little like tropes for the names of places. I just thought this was really fun. If I could go back and redo this, I would take out the color, because as you can see, the marker that I used smudged the pen here, but oh well. I did take a picture of this before I colored it, so I could, if I wanted to, I could clean it up digitally. Yeah, I really love how this turned out. I'm really proud of this one. Okay, this page is so funny to me. So I have my little internet browser open, and we have 2 tabs. We have my Tumblr era blog, and then an archive of our own fanfiction tab. So when I was talking about before with the fact that I read manga and sometimes I will go and like binge a series, most of the time that is BL mangas that I find Twitter, TikTok, and I'm like, oh, that sounds cute, and I go look it up and I binge it. I actually did that this morning. I read one, oh, what was it called? It was like The Metalhead Next Door. That one was really cute. So I've never kept track of those before, and I do like throughout the year. I don't read them a crazy amount, but I do read a decent amount of manga actually that way, just because I find it online and I go and read it. So I just have this little tracker that's it's kind of supposed to give 2000s Tumblr, old HTML blog. So I have my like this kind of web speak from back in the day, the XX Yaoi Lover XX screen name. I have my crappy little anime girl profile picture. I just think this is so fun. So yeah, I'm going to be able to put the title and the number of volumes. And then over here, okay, if you don't recognize this, consider yourself lucky. This is Archive of Our Own. It is a fanfiction website. I was never a Wattpad girl. I am a fanfiction.net into Archive of Our Own truther. And this kind of looks like the history tab. So I don't read fanfiction super frequently. On Twitter, like I have a private Twitter that all I follow is fan artists and fan writers. So I'll read like one-shots, maybe like 5 or so a month. And then I think last year I had like maybe 5 or 6 like longer fan fictions that I really remember. I actually had 2 in November. I think I only finished 3 published books, but I read 2 novel-length fan fictions that if I had the ability to be tracking those in my old journal, I would have, just because they were really good. So I made this just as a option to track some of those really life-changing, wonderful fan fictions that I read throughout the year. If you're on AO3, you understand what I'm talking about. If not, this is going to seem very alien, but you can put the little warnings, you can put the name of the fanfiction, the pairing and the series that those characters are from, the word count, and a little about blurb. So like Coffee Shop AU. I just thought this was fun and funny, and I think it turned out cute. Okay, these are my last 2 pages for the kind of just set up base tracking pages of this journal, and they are not book related, but as I said, I wanted to use this also as kind of an entertainment tracker because it's my journal. So we have my games to play and my things to watch wish list. It's supposed to look like two little pieces of paper that I taped in. My games to play wish list, I have it split up into games I've already started or games that I want to play. This is literally like a 10-year wish list. This is never gonna happen in this next year because I play games so slowly. But my very lofty goals of games I would like to play is Final Fantasy 16. This is the one that's the priority after the game I finish playing right now. I need to go back to this. I was close to the end, and then Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth came out, and then Dragon Age came out, so I need to go back to this. And for Christmas I actually got a gift card that's the amount for me to buy the DLC for this game, so that's my top priority once I'm done with a game we'll talk about. The Final Fantasy Pixel Collection, I bought this for Black Friday. It's got 1 through 6 on it. I got it for my Switch. Lego Harry Potter, I got the collection and I think I'm on year 2. Dragon Age Origins, this is one that I'm torn because I want to play my original playthrough with my Warden, but my PS3 is in a storage unit and realistically I'm not going to get that out of there anytime soon. So EA was actually having a sale on Steam, so I got Dragon Age Origins and 2, both of like the kind of all-in-one editions for $10. I also bought the Mass Effect trilogy for the same price. That's the same thing with all of the DLC. At some point, I will get to that on Steam. That's going to be a big change for me because I am a console gamer through and through. Yes, I have a gaming PC, but I really use it mainly for the fact I'm a graphic designer, so it's overpowered for the games that I tend to play, but it's great for my graphic design, for my video editing, photo editing stuff. I will get to this at some point. I want to play Dragon Age the Veilguard. I am somewhere in Act 2 right now. I really like this game. I know that it's been quite contested, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm a huge Dragon Age fan. When I talk about loving lore, Dragon Age is that for me with this series. And then lastly, Kingdom Hearts. So Kingdom Hearts is my favorite series ever. I actually have a tattoo from it, but I have not finished a lot of the handheld games. These are all handheld ones. I finished 358 Days Over 2, but I have to play Dream Drop Distance, the 3DS one. I have to play Birth by Sleep, Recoded, and Chain of Memories. Games I want to play. I think after Final Fantasy, I think my like biggest one that I want to work on is The Witcher 3 because they just announced Witcher 4. I have Final Fantasy here written out. I love Final Fantasy and I've only finished 15. Yikes. Oh, I've only finished 15 and then parts 1 and 2 of the remake trilogy for 7. I've played a lot of OG 7 and 8. I've played some of 10. I've played some of 13. I've played some of 1. I've played some of 2. I just need to go back and actually like sit down and finish them. Assassin's Creed, I want to play. The ones that I have are Origins, Odyssey, Unity, and Black Flag. Horizon Zero Dawn, The World Ends With You. I know I have the DS. Not the DS. I have the Switch port of it, not the like Neo one. I have the Switch port of the original game. I don't remember if I also have the DS version of this game. Nier Automata and then Devil May Cry, I have the trilogy in like one disc for PS4. Lastly, this is my things to watch page, which is not as long because I don't watch that much stuff. I really want to. I spend like 6 hours a day on YouTube. It's really bad. I'm unemployed, if you can't tell, with all of the shit that I've written down and the amount of time I've had to spend on this. Hopefully I won't be unemployed soon, but I spend so much time on YouTube. I love YouTube, but I really want to watch other stuff. That's something I really want to prioritize this year, is slowing down my social media consumption and ramping up my other media consumption. So things that I would like to watch, you can kind of see that I messed it up. Initially I wrote movies to watch, and then I was like, fuck, it's not just movies. So I used whiteout. You can see where the marker kind of interacts with it weird. Oh, I forgot to show you talk about my stickers. This little Foxy from FNAF. I have a little sticker set I got at Five Below, and then this is just a sticker I was saving because I knew I wanted to make this page from the ephemera set. But we have Castlevania Nocturne. I'm pretty sure that I finished the original Castlevania series on Netflix, but I want to watch the second one. Arcane, this is a new one. I'm still not 100% sure if I want to watch Arcane, but I've had so much of it spoiled for me on Twitter, but I do keep seeing so many people gush about it that maybe I'll give it a chance. I talked about before, Blue Exorcist and Black Butler are my favorite series. Blue Exorcist, the anime is weird because the first season came out in like 2011. There was a movie in like 2012 or something that is like not fully non-canon. In like 2016 or 17, the second season came out, and then there was a third season a year or two ago. I only have ever seen like a few episodes of the second season, so I need to go back and actually watch it because the manga is so much better, but I do want to watch it. And I think there's a fourth season coming out. Black Butler, similarly, I think I watched Book of Circus, and then there's always seems to be a new OVA or series coming out every few years, so I need to get caught up on that. The only movie on here is The Lord of the Rings. This is something that is always a surprise for people when I say that I've never seen The Lord of the Rings, just because of who I am as a person. I love fantasy, just kind of the nerdy things I'm into. People are always surprised when I say I've never seen The Lord of the Rings. I need to finish watching The Witcher. I only watched about half of the first season, and then I always forget that this exists, but there is it's called Dragon Age Absolution. There's a Dragon Age show on Netflix, and that is the end of that one. I'm gonna try to finish this because my dog is barking now. But I want to thank you for watching. If you've watched this whole thing, I'm sure it's going to be kind of long because I like to talk a lot. I am so excited to get into this. I'm going to soon, because I have already finished a book this year, and I'm going to finish one within the next couple hours today. I'm really excited to get into doing my monthly spreads and then my actual full book review pages. That I cannot wait to get into. So yeah, I'm so excited to continue with this. I don't really have, because I film on my phone, I can't really film the full setup with me videos because I just don't have the space to film like a multi-hour video and edit it down. But I definitely would like to do either monthly or maybe quarterly, just depending on how many books I read and how much I'm able to fit in wrap-up videos and just kind of a flip through of this is what, I did in January. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good one. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hopefully edit this soon and get it up within the next day or so. And first I'm gonna go finish a book. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good one, and goodbye.